Ben, you look absolutely amazing.
You
Yeah,
can see my halos,
beautiful.
my polos, and my glasses. My polo eyes. Look at them all, boy.
Well, hello, you lovers of music. Welcome to Full Record Jacket with me, Phil, and he, the Ben.
The Ben.
So, how are you doing, Ben?
I'm all right, actually, Philster. I'm not too bad. I've had an all right week. I even had a haircut. I've had my hair tidied up. 'Cause, I'm growing it.
Yeah.
So I've had it tidied up a little bit. Cut a little bit too much off the back. Sent me back 6 weeks. But apart from that, and my promise not to buy any more vinyl, really not working. It's been a good week.
So, have you bought vinyl?
I have, yeah.
So, to which grooves did you succumb? Which jackets attracted you?
This one here.
Oh, that behind you. That's what, the Magical Mystery Tour. Is that what I'm saying
Got the
there?
Magical Mystery Tour. Yeah, that's a Magical Mystery Tour. Do you want to see the rest?
Let's see the rest. I think many of our viewers will know all about
I've
the
got this
Magical
one.
Mystery Tour.
It's by a little group called the Beatles. I've got this one, which is number 374 of 500 released. And it's another one of them where I thought, I don't know anything about this guy, but I'm going to order it anyway because that's the kind of guy I am. I'm getting a replacement sent out because you can see the creasing because I didn't put it in the correct packaging. It's all creased. We can't be having that. It's by a guy called Tim Dawn, not to be confused with PM.
I was about to say that. That's the only other Dawn I can think of in music
Dawn
history.
Penn. You got Dawn Penn as well, didn't she? Didn't she do that reggae song? I can't remember how it goes.
Yeah.
My.
Wasn't there also? Well, that was.
Love me.
Oh yeah,
That
that
one,
was
yeah.
Dawn, was it?
Dawn
There was also
Penn,
there was also a group called Dawn, weren't they? The ones who did tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak
something
tree
like that. Yeah.
back in the 70s. Yeah.
Yeah. Hazel Dawn.
Okay.
No, it's Hazel Dean, but I thought I'd just do that. Yeah, so I don't know what it looks like. It's going to be acousticy, chilled outy. I can't see this being thrash metal.
No, I can't.
In fact, let's see, because I have logged it into my Discogs account. So let's see what Discogs, other purveyors of
And what's your Magical Mystery Tour? I mean, Beatle nerds will want to know: is that an original pressing? Is that an American import?
Well, let's have a look. Well, this is what they call light music, not to confuse with lift music. If you listen to Michael Bublé,
a little light music, yeah. Okay.
Light music pop. So I imagine this is acousticy.
I would guess so.
Acousticy. Yeah. But I'll feed back on that one because it's a pretty cool album cover. My Magical Mystery Tour is an original pressing, first gen pressing from D'Agostoni in 2017, or whenever it was. Right. D'Agostoni, is that it? D'Agostoni? Something like that. So I think a few years ago, I think they've done it with Bob Dylan, but you could basically, it cost you like 20 odd quid for the magazine. You got the Magical Mystery. Well, you got all the Beatles albums, including I think the anthologies with it. And you might have got Past Masters as well. I'm pretty sure you got Past
Probably
Masters.
To complete the canon, yeah, I'd imagine so.
Yeah, but it's a nice gatefold, as you can see. So nice gatefold version there. It's got a 24-page booklet in it with pictures of some Scousers in magicians' outfits. And then there's a 12-inch record inside it. So I got that. So are you okay with that pressing? To be fair, of all the stereo mixes, I think the D'Agostoni ones are probably the better stereo, a good stereo mix.
Well, they haven't actually remixed it though. They've just done a mastering of the George Martin's original mix.
And I think I was watching Andy from, is it Parlogram?
Oh yeah.
We'll tag him in this just so people will then flag it up, and then we'll get more people watching us. He quite likes D'Agostoni mixes. Anyway, my next one I got was I got this because that well-known online ordering site cornered me, and they were offering it me for $5.99, which I thought was really cheap. And when I looked up the cheapest I could find it was about 17, 18 quid. But it's Rage Against the Machine live at Irvine Meadows in 1995.
Okay.
And I'm not a massive Rage Against the Machine. I know things like Know Your Enemy, Bullet in the Head, stuff like that, but if anything, just that was worth the $5.99 that I paid for it. It looks a bit like Keith Flint from The Prodigy.
That's what I thought it was when you first
Yeah.
showed it.
So I got that, and then there's one in here which is a guilty pleasure, but we'll come to that in a minute. Next was, and I ordered an album off of that well-known online retailer, and the album that they said, I can't remember what the band was called. It's not Munts or Grunt, I can't remember, but they were like an indie pop band. And what I got was this instead, Charlie Crockett, which I can imagine he's country.
It would be pretty surprising if he wasn't country, wouldn't it? Dressed
well, I was
like that.
thinking he was sort of like maybe, hardcore house or something like that. But you can't get more of a country name than that, can you? Charlie Crockett.
Not really, no.
So the only other people who should be called Charlie Crockett appear in Coronation Street, I think. So I got that. That was by accident. And they have sent me out my replacement album, and they've allowed me to keep this one. So a nice little freebie from the online retailer. Next up is a little bit of post-punk, I would say. That sort of thing. I haven't listened to it yet, but it's by a band called Scab, SCAB. Now, when I listened to this on the Spotify, I was expecting it to be quite sort of... It's more clashy than it is sort of raucous punk, I would say. It's more mainstream. But it was actually not a bad listen for one. I skipped through a couple of tracks and that to have a listen, and I haven't played it yet. Anyway, next is Wild World by Bastille. I don't know if you've ever listened to any Bastille stuff.
I haven't, no.
I've not listened to a great deal. What I have heard is quite Coldplay-ish, that sort of pop rock sort of, like the 1975, that sort of stuff. But I just thought the album cover was pretty decent. So I haven't listened to any of these, so don't even ask me to. I haven't finished yet either. Right. Next up is Tom Odell's Monsters album.
Is this the guilty pleasure?
No, it's not.
No. Okay, I don't know much about him. I don't know much about him, but he's not uncool. Then is he cool? I don't know what's cool.
I don't know. I did quite like that. Was it Another Love that he did? Another love. All my tears have been used up.
He has hits in the pop charts. So
he has had hits in the pop charts, but I don't think he's had.
He's not super cool, then, is he?
Since I don't think he's super cool.
I wouldn't have thought so if he keeps having hits in the pop charts,
No, exactly. And then last, oh no. I think I did this one last time, didn't I? I did Radiohead Kid A last time, didn't I?
You talked about Radiohead last time. I can't remember whether you actually showed Kid A. I don't think you did. No, I think you said you wanted to buy it. You'd been listening to the OK Computer.
I've got it.
You've got it now.
Yeah. And as you can see by the shiny halo, it's still in its cellophane.
So have you not listened? Does that mean you haven't listened to it?
Haven't listened to it yet. I've already here what I've shown you, which I've got in the last couple of weeks.
And are you ever going to listen to it, or will it disappear completely and never be found?
I'll listen to it. I will listen to it. Because I sold a load of records a couple of weeks ago, and the guy came to pick them up. He saw the Kid A album on the side, and he went, I really hate Radiohead. And I was like, well, do you know what? I used to as well. but I've kind of had my arm twisted slightly, and I kind of like that 3-album period that Ben's OK Computer and Kid A, from what I've heard of it. But we'll see. We'll see. So that means then I didn't do. Oh, I remember doing that one. I didn't do this then. Another Beatles edition.
No, I don't think you've shown that either. I think you told me that you bought that, but
So we got that one.
well, the last two, I've actually heard of the last two bands, which is amazing when it comes to your vinyl, doesn't it? But
I know. So I thought that was a nice. I did say to you, didn't I? I did have a debate of which album should I buy, and you went, "Well, it doesn't really matter because you're going to buy them anyway." So
yeah, well, you were trying to decide which Beatles LP to buy next. I said, well, you're going to end up buying them all, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So I got that, and then just to, when you buy stuff because you think that's Anyway, I did that with this. Look, they're called Beef Jerk.
Okay.
I have no idea what they're about, but they're from Sydney, Australia. Warped and catchy songs celebrating the highs and lows of Australian culture and the human condition, is what it says on the front cover. And that's a really clean kitchen. Do you know what I like best about buying all these albums is knowing that you've got to watch this video back and tag all these artists in.
You'll have to tag them yourself because I can't always find them, or I can't remember what they all are. Or I have to sit and watch it and try and tag them.
Right, we're almost there. Now, we've got 3 left. And this one I bought on a whim. And it's by a band, I think they're South African. Small, and it's kind of like, I didn't realise it. It says on the back of it, on the listing, it said it must have been the pressing date, which was like 2020. But it's actually from 1991, and it's actually some sort of South African, almost sort of, that sort of, I don't know, housey, sort of early 90s sort of stuff.
Yeah,
That's the best way I can describe it.
I mean, I have no idea what specifically South African music is like.
I'll see what Discog says about the. Here we go. Yeah, it's a 2022 pressing. Electronic pop style house. Got it $4.99. The cheapest it sold for was £24. But it does sound very 90s when I've listened to it. It's got that very sort of, like Hadaway, that sort of,
Okay.
So we've got that one.
I might not be streaming that one then, maybe.
Well, you say that, but you will. Right, but what do you want first? Do you want the guilty pleasure or do you want the non-guilty pleasure?
Let's have the one that's supposedly credible, and then let's have the guilty at the end.
It's by a little band that did back in the 60s.
Unless we have that at the end to renew your credibility. Oh, hang on. Well,
what do you want to do? No, we're going with it.
We'll go with it.
Can you guess what it is? If I just show you that bit there.
Is that the Who? No, I was thinking it was. Was it the Who? A quick one? No, this is a '60s band.
Yeah.
It's Yellow Submarine. I can just see it there. Yeah.
You were right. I did buy them both in the end. So yeah, I got Yellow Submarine. I finally got it. I didn't get the 2009.
Is that version. Is that a '60s pressing?
No, it's another D'Agostoni one.
Okay.
So it's a remastered thingy. So
you'll be able to listen to it all together now in amazing quality. How Yeah, but on the other hand, you do get Hey Bulldog, and it's all too much. So it's not all bad.
All You Need Is Love. I mean,
that's on there as well, of course. Yeah.
It did, and it appeared on Magical Mystery Tour as well, didn't it? So, but would this almost be an EP? Because the second side is really just the film score,
the George Martin arrangements. Yeah. But it's more like an EP than an album, really. It's odds and ends, isn't it? Really.
Right. Anyway, are you ready for the guilty pleasure?
Let's get guilty. Come on, then. What have we got?
Right. You have these moments. Oh God. Oh, the submarine sunk. When you sort of have these moments where you're like, I quite appreciate people, lots the songwriters, people who take the time to sit there on their own, craft their skills, and I've got a lot of, there's a lot of people that people would say, oh, what you listen to. People like Gary Barlow, I think, is a really good songwriter. It might not be fashionable or credible to say, oh, do you know what, Gary Barlow's a great songwriter, but it's along those lines.
Okay.
Any guesses?
Is it Barry Manilow?
Close.
Neil Diamond?
No.
Is it that vintage, or is it? Oh, hang on. I have an idea who this is.
Go on.
Is this a guy who's still around now, still making records now?
Yeah.
British. Yeah.
Yep.
Some people don't like his voice. Well, you can say that about any singer, can't you? But this guy gets it more.
Quite funny on Twitter.
Quite funny on Twitter. It used to be a tank commander. Am I right about that as well? Used to be in the army.
Could be in that ballpark.
And he's the opposite of sharp. Would that be right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, you don't do things by halves, do you? So if you're going to go into guilty pleasure, you've gone the full blunt, flipping heck. And he's even got a dreadful. I've never seen that before. That's a dreadful front cover, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
What the?
I don't know if that was actually taken in his army days,
but
it is an awful.
It looks a bit staged.
I think as a songwriter, some of his songs are actually quite sort of.
I wouldn't have thought that was in his army days because he was in the British Army. He wasn't in the US Army during Vietnam, so I'm not sure he would have been wearing that helmet.
Yeah, that helmet is slightly dated, isn't it? I've just realised that one. But yeah, no, I got the best of James Blunt, which could have been worse because I could have got Scouting for Girls.
Well, you could have got the worst of James Blunt. That could have been. Maybe that would have been.
Some people out there may say that this and that are one of the same.
Yeah.
And I do like him on.
Are you going to?
Because originally, do you know what this album was originally going to be called?
No, go on.
It was originally going to be called something like "The Song You've Heard and Others That You Haven't," or something along those lines.
Okay.
And his record company basically said, "You can't keep taking the piss out of yourself, James." So it's called "The Stars Beneath My Feet."
So that's his best stuff. I must say, I do like his wittiness and his self-deprecating humour online. In fact, he I do like him for that. I'm not sure whether I will still be able to dig his vocal tone. But I mean, to be honest, I've never really actually sat and listened to him for any length of time. So maybe I'm in no position to diss him.
I've never really listened to him for any length of time.
That's obviously most people haven't because they can't get past 3 minutes.
But is his voice any worse than like Morris's, or dare I say, Bob Dylan's?
Well, this is it, isn't it? It's all subjective, isn't it?
Yeah, music is subjective. So that's what I've bought. I've basically bought in about 2 weeks what most people will buy in a lifetime. But I have had, where's it gone? Magical Mystery Tour, which was behind me, no longer is behind me. I've had that on repeat for the last few days, and I know we're going to talk about that album because, it's an EP. But technically Capitol made it an album, and it's a really good one.
Okay. Well, thanks for that dive into your vinyl and for the shockingly honest confession of the guilty pleasure. We will do some more videos now, Ben, but in the meantime, thanks for that. All the best. Good luck with James Blunt.